Hey guys, Mario here. So today I want to talk to you guys about history and why history is so important and why when we write history, it's very important to write history as what it happened, not as what you want it to happen. The biggest example of history and the history that I'm going to focus on today is Democrat violence. And they're going to say, oh, Democrats aren't violent. Yes, they are. They have had a long history of violence. I mean, we can look out into the streets the last summer and we watched Democrats destroy our cities. Oh, they weren't Democrats, but they didn't back the police. So obviously they weren't conservatives either. But let's rewind and let's go back to Civil War when Kansas was trying to become a state. A representative by the name of Charles Sumner gave a 2-day-long speech on why Kansas should be admitted as a free state, not as a slave state. During this 2-day speech, he pointed his ire at several different House members, one of them being a House member who promoted slavery, who loved slavery, who thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So when he verbally attacked this person, at the end of his speech, he's sitting there writing his stuff, writing his things, cleaning up, and all of a sudden a person bursts into the room. You! Starts shouting at him. Well, approaches Charles Sumner while he's at his desk and proceeds to beat him with a cane. The times they used canes to walk, he physically beat this person within an inch of his life, this South Carolina senator, who was also a Democrat and also a relative of one of the, I guess you could say, targets of Charles Sumner's speech. Well, Charles Sumner ended up living. He survived the attack, but he wasn't, without injury. He was hospitalized for several days. And the Democrats took that South Carolina senator or representative and were like, look at him. He's such a great person. He fought for us, for our rights to have slaves. And then the right turned around and says, look at Charles Sumner. He took the beating. He took the beating for his principles. And so both sides lauded both of their characters as heroes. Well, when you look at it and you take a step back, the person doing the attacking is probably, and in my opinion, the person who's in the wrong. Why? Because you don't take physical action to emotional or spoken words. There's nothing you should be doing. When I get called names, I don't respond by punching them in the face. People have asked me, oh, why didn't you punch them in the face? Because that's not a response. That's not an appropriate response. You call me a name, okay, that's not going to hurt me. I can call you a name back, but if you physically assault me, then at that point, you have chosen to disregard the fact that I am choosing to respond in a nonviolent way, and when you respond in a violent way, I have every right to defend myself. Therein lies the issue. When we start seeing things like, oh, well, the Republicans are mean to Democrats. Well, where are we mean? Did we yelled at Obama when he made an actual lie and we told him, you lie, and all of a sudden all the Democrats, oh, clutch the pearls, someone said Obama lied. That's an awful thing. They're racist for saying that. Well, at least they didn't go down onto the floor and physically beat him. At least they didn't take his State of the Union speech and tear it in half, which is what Nancy Pelosi did. And that's one of two examples. She also broke tradition where when a Republican was on the House floor in 2014 giving a speech, she didn't like what they had to say. And so she went over there and she made sure she shook her finger at them. Well, honey, you can't break your tradition. You can't get out from behind your desk when you're on the floor to go shake your finger at someone because you don't like what they say. And this is what I want to talk to you guys about. The Democrats have a very, very, very long history of being violent towards Republicans and towards of anything that they don't like. They are very, very closely related to the behavior of socialists who will suppress an opinion they don't like, who will outlaw thought that they don't like, who will tell you that you are wrong and you need to be re-educated, which is the reason why Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett is out here going, I feared for my life. You weren't even in the same building. But because you're writing the history right now, you can write the narrative. I refuse to let you write the narrative. I remember my history, and I know that the Democrats are the ones who are truly the party of violence. I love you guys all. I'll talk to you guys soon. Mwah! Bye, guys.